Evening, folks. Hope you're all keeping well. Whoa. So, welcome to your next live stream. What am I going to talk about tonight? I don't know. Well, first of all, it'd be a help if you guys could actually hear me and see me, so let's see. Evening, folks. So how am I coming through? I hope I can be seen and heard, not that I'm going to have anything interesting to say. So welcome to your first post Panzer crash live stream. So one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is obviously the Panzer and the state of play with that car, and also going to be talking about the other projects that we have going on and answer some questions for you guys. So that's what we're here to do tonight, and so let's get things started off. The Panzer is going to live again. No thanks to my fantastic driving skills, but having said that, I have taken steps to rectify the situation. Oh yes, I've got myself a book, and it has a section in here on, this is it, yeah, okay, racing lines and how to take corners, because I'm great on the straights but the corners not so much. So okay, so audio is slightly low, so let's see if we can fix that. Hopefully that is somewhat better. I am using the microphone in the camera this time, not the usual tight clip mic that I use, so might account for that. But we are using a slightly better PC, so hopefully I won't be doing that kind of thing that sometimes happens. So yes, cornering. I have to master that particular art, hopefully better than I mastered the art of live streaming. So Panzer currently is undergoing repairs. I haven't had a chance to do much over the last week because I've been busy with some paint jobs. Unfortunately, I still have to do those to pay for Panzer repairs and things like that. Anyway. So we are attempting to get the car hopefully back driving by the end of the month. I was very kindly donated a nose cone and rear bumper and side skirts from one of you guys, a YouTube subscriber. Absolutely perfect condition. So that makes a real big difference to getting the car back running. Have repaired the internal subframe damage, and the last thing that I need to do is replace the right rear trailing arm, which got bent when we impacted the ditch. And what an impact it was. If you haven't seen some of the slow motion videos that I put up there of the actual impact, I strongly recommend that you have a look. Basically, apart from the crash, the track day was quite a success for me. Got to basically test out the car quite a bit, obviously a bit more than I had intended, but the result was that we can run full power through the Tesla drive unit using the open source controller. So that's kind of that was the aim of the game, and we will be back to the track. Not sure if I'm going to bring the Panzer back, but we do have a track car build underway, and we will be returning to Mondello with it. And if that car happens to end up going into the ditch, well, we just drive it on. You know, it's not going to be as irreplaceable as the Panzer. do watch out for that build soon. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, soon enough, because I gotta get it ready for the track season. Track season is currently still on, so we gotta. Yeah, we're probably gonna miss the July track day, but hoping to get back for the August track day with our track car. So that's the state of play with the Panzer. There will be some more videos on that soon, showing the repairs and hopefully some more driving stuff. I need to get it tested so I can take it out on the road and we can start doing some limited road testing at that stage. So that is the Panzer. As I say, we will be doing a track car build definitely fairly soon. You will have seen it in the shape of the E46 project that I worked on there a while ago. Basically going to resurrect that. So that's the game plan there. And hopefully a little bit less power, because letting Muggins here loose with no idea how to drive on a track and 400 plus horsepower, yeah, that kind of doesn't end well, really. Basically, the next part of the puzzle for projects is the E36 €1,000 build. We haven't had a video on that for a while, so I'm actually getting a little bit of work done on that. Actually got a little bit done this weekend even. So we'll be doing more on that, and we'll have some videos on that car also. I'm trying to keep the video count on this build low so that I'm not showing a video of me, you know, welding a couple bits of steel together and, you know, wiring up 3 or 4 wires. I kind of want to keep the videos a little bit longer, but a little bit more content in them. So hopefully that works out for you guys. So that's I'm going to answer a couple of questions here now. So can I charge on the ESB network? Yes, I can. I do have a access card for that, and all of my vehicles comply with what's basically the J1772 protocol and can charge from the public network. I don't often use it. I'm not going to say too much here, but let's just say there are quality and reliability issues, to say the least, with the public charging infrastructure, so I only use it in an emergency, really. Now, that being said, I might be revisiting the whole fast charging stuff again, so that would be you know, obviously that would entail using public charging. So the BMW 7 Series project, am I still up for the 1 week conversion target? Yes. Now that is the next thing I want to talk to you guys about. So plan A for the 7 Series was we were going to do it at Dave's workshop for a 1 week build. That may still happen. Not sure how it's going to slot in terms of Dave's availability and his workshop availability for that. So I have actually been thinking about alternative ways to do it. I still wanted to do it as a kind of a 1 week, you know, mostly live streamed type of a project. But it may end up being done on the driveway here. We'll just have to see how things work out. But I am working on some prep for it. I've got the battery bought, I've got the motor bought, and I have to start working on the inverter fairly soon so we can get that ready. And I've also got to get a coupler made for the motor, so I'm going to be working on some of that stuff in the background, and the sooner the better, because the old V8 is starting to really sound like a bag of nails. So what I really don't want is 2.2 tons of German automobile stuck in my driveway, because pushing that car is certainly not going to be on my to-do list. So what is my maximum charge rate? Currently the Panzer would be the fastest charging car, which will go up to about 11 kilowatts using the Tesla charger. Behind me here on the floor we have a Tesla Gen 3 charger, which can go to 18.5 kilowatts. I'm kind of juggling that, whether I put that in the track car or I put it in the 7 Series. So I guess I'll see. I do have another Gen 2 charger that I could put in the 7 Series and keep the Gen 3 for the track car, because you know we gotta gas up and go, splash and dash, pit lane stuff, you know, the competitive motorsport world. Okay, I should do it next week with the good weather. Yeah, the only problem is next week I have a lot of other things to do, but I'll squeeze her in. But I've got to get the prep work done first, because there's no point in me trying to do a 1 week conversion project if I end up spending 1 week just getting the motor into the car. We need to, you know, start on day 1 and finish on day 7 with a working electric vehicle. So, and for those of you that don't know, the BMW E65 is one of the most integrated and computerized vehicles, even by today's standards. This thing has fiber optic networks in it. I had great fun. The reasonably simple task of getting, you know, so that I could connect my phone to the stereo system and stream music and stuff like that, which would be, you know, a 10-minute job in a normal car, turned out to be a tour de force of analog to digital converters and analog switches and all kinds of fun-packed stuff. And oh yeah, digital signal processors, great fun. But I got it to work, only then to find that the right side of the audio amplifier is dead. So I have to fix that ASAP, because it might have a kick-ass EV, but if it's got no tunes, I don't drive it. Alright. So, are dual 9-inch Kostov motors any good? I would imagine they would be very good. I would imagine they would get you down the road big time. Probably fast. Right, so would you ever do a meetup? I would, yeah. Basically, over hopefully the coming days, but it might end up being the coming weeks, I'm planning to do a pretty major refresh on my Patreon page, because it's hard to believe that it's been nearly a year that I've been working on the Tesla stuff, milking you guys for every cent that I can get out of you, and basically not really giving you any kind of a payback beyond open source boards and, you know, these crappy live streams. So I am going to rework the Patreon, and one of the things though, I've been trawling around for suggestions about things that could be done, so we could, you know, I could put in there that we can do a meetup. I'll probably need to have more than one EV on the road, so we need to get the Panzer finished and we need to get the E36 driving. So yeah, not too much to do actually, it's just getting it done. Can I fix Brexit? Ooh. My wife recently told me that I shouldn't try to fix everything. I should only try to fix the things that are in my sphere, because, you know, I've got this compulsion to fix stuff. It's kind of like, oh, must fix, oh my god, there's something broken, must fix. So I'm going to try to leave, you know, Brexit for next year, and then I'll have a go at it, so watch this space. can't read. Why can't I read? Oh, here we are. I will be a Patreon if you can tell me the specs of a forklift motor for a Lotus Esprit. Don't know much about Lotus cars. I probably wouldn't even really be able to tell one model from the next, but I do know that they're light, so if you get yourself a motor similar to what I'm using in the E36, the Lotus is probably going to be half the weight of the E36. I'm going for kind of daily driver in the E36, so you could possibly get yourself quite a reasonable car. So we were talking about 9-inch series wound DC motor, dual brushes, you know, kind of fairly rugged. Then you're going to have to take it apart and advance the brushes and clean it and replace the bearings and things like that. I am still looking for a forklift motor that I can take apart on video for you guys and wow you with my skills on things like wire brushing and spray painting and drilling holes. So hopefully I can find one soon. I did notice someone was asking me about my 9-volt battery of death. Behold, yes, the 9-volt battery of death. Between these two terminals here is about well, let's not guess. Let's see exactly what voltage is between these terminals, because this battery could be dead by now. So let's go see. Have I got a multimeter probe? Oh God. Here's a word to the wise, folks. Don't try to do 10 projects at the same time. Trust me, it's not a good idea. Okay. What is the current voltage of the 9-volt battery of death? Take your guesses now. And let's not choose the current scale, because this would be an interesting live stream if I decided to do that, wouldn't it? Okay, 241.2 volts. The diode I used on that was a 1N5408, probably way too big for the application, but if you need 240 volts DC to fool a charger into thinking it's connected to a traction battery in something that can be carried in one hand, 9-volt battery of death is your project. Now, it is a testament to my wife that on the morning that I ran into the bedroom and I said, honey, we need to buy 27 9-volt batteries, that she didn't, you know, just pack up and leave me, because I had a sudden inspiration that I wanted to build this thing. And then I had to go around all the supermarkets buying up 9-volt batteries, and they had a laugh at that. But anyway, hey, 9-volt battery of death is a 1N5408. So, what's next? Someone else doing 3 projects at the same time. Okay, well, that's good. Yes, it is a 3 amp diode, it is indeed. So, okay then. Right. We've covered the Panzer, we've covered the E36, we've covered the 7 Series, which is now officially known as the Super Yacht. Going to be refreshing Patreon, so we will have some hopefully reasonably interesting goals there for you guys to basically just to give me money so that I can chill out. I mean work very hard on making OEM components available to the masses, such as this damn thing. Still have to power this up, but the good news is I have one of these groovy little crimping tools. I found these weird connectors for the Ethernet. They all plug in now. One thing I won't be connecting is the 3G modem, because otherwise Elon will direct a Falcon 9 first stage to land here. And you know, that'd be bad. Okay. What is the biggest battery I think is possible in the 7 Series? Ooh, that is a question. I'm actually going to try and squeeze 40 kilowatt hours into it. I don't know how successful that's going to be. It's a big car, so it's, you know, it's going to need a big battery. But yeah, other than that, we're good. Now, I'm going to try some video trickery. Probably won't work, so let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Oh my God, it's still out. Is that really what I look like? I hope I don't look like that. No, that's just an actor. Okay. Alright. Now, let's see what happens here. Nope. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys are seeing this. I hope you are seeing it. But this is calling to me. This car has been calling to me now for some months. I'm fighting it, and I need you guys to, I thought, you know, I need you guys to kind of help me avoid it. Tell me why this is a bad plan, please, somebody. See, my problem is I try to rescue too many cats and too many cars. The cats fight and the cars take up too much space and basically drain all of my financial resources. So, yeah. There it is, guys. So, it's a 1989 E30 with a noise from the top of the engine, and there's a whine from the diff. So, there you have it. Oh, this is not good. Hold on. Guy says, need car gone this week as I have the space, as I need the space. Welcome offers as need gone, but no time wasters. Or people that want something for nothing. Well, there's plenty of those going around. I could definitely put a dual cost of in that, but I was thinking more in terms of my i3 motor, you know, to keep it a genuine BMW. Now, speaking of genuine BMWs, let me see if I can do some more of my video trickery here. Stand by. Am I back? I could be back. Now, speaking of genuine BMWs, the other car is not on the internet but has also been calling me is this thing. Obviously not exactly this one, but this particular model. And I'm also trying to avoid purchasing this. And I'm also then trying to avoid using it as a test bed for a small Tesla drive unit. So, there you go, guys. This is what happens to me. You know, I'm doing good, I'm crashing cars, I'm hitting the track, I'm hacking the electronics, and then more cars, right? But I try, you know, I try. Yes, it is nude feet Sunday because it's quite warm, so I'm letting the feet kind of dry out. Okay, so what are you guys saying to me now? I don't want a Falcon 9 in my house, certainly not, but it would be kind of cool if one landed out there. You know, apart from having the windows blown in and stuff like that, you know, I could definitely, you know, that would be cool. It might singe the lawn as well and blow in the windows, but if it landed out there, Elon would definitely get a like from me. Do a Lotus. Oh Lord. Everyone, you know, well, okay. If it is any solace, I'm helping a guy doing a Lotus, and quite interesting too. Might actually feature that. Yeah. Okay. Wow. This says, if you're thinking of taking on an E24, good on you, but do read what our experts say first. I have been multiple times. Unfortunately, nobody says, don't do this, Damien, in here. Okay, because I don't see any of that. All I see is car, more cars. Anyway, next question. How would you guys no, actually that's not a good question, is it? See, the beauty of this live stream stuff is I don't have time to think about what I'm going to say, so I usually say the first thing that pops into my brain. So I can just read the magazine here and just, you know, talk random junk, but kind of don't really. Shine my scalp, maybe. There we go. Okay. All right. Funny thing, if you'd have said to me a year ago that I'd be, you know, flying around Mondello Park with a Tesla drive unit hanging out of the back of the Panzer, and basically doing EV stuff, doing the whole reverse engineering and PCBing and all that stuff, and making a living out of that. Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I gotta say that. It's pretty great, and I've you guys to thank for that. I suppose one of the things that I do look at sometimes is I kind of look at the YouTube stats, and it's easy to look at that and kind of get depressed and say, oh my God, you know, I've got, you know, 400 videos, and you know, I've got probably, you know, some kid with a couple of funny cat video edits has got more subscribers than me in 2 weeks versus me in 9 flipping years. But I think the thing that I'm most grateful for, and it was demonstrated last week when I got the Panzer parts, is that I mightn't have the quantity, but I certainly have the quality. And I really do want to say thank you for all of the support. You know, I'd rather have a few good supporters versus a million random subscribers that just post crap on my videos. So thank you. Okay. Not really anything else popping into my head unless you guys have got some more questions. So I'm going to have a quick look here and see what you've got for me. Well, okay. Okay, well, it's interesting that you guys are having some good conversations in there. At least I can just kind of you know, I can just kind of ramble away, and you guys talk about sensible stuff. But the other thing, oh yeah, the other thing I'm going to be doing, hopefully fairly soon, is getting this Tesla display and the the instrument cluster powered up. So yeah, something like this. Main reason I haven't looked at it yet is I was looking to get the connectors. I found the connectors and will be getting this powered up soon. But it's the method that I want to use to make this work that I've kind of got to refine in my own head first. Am I planning to work on the Tesla cabin heater? Yes. I haven't had a chance yet. I do have one. I won't be using it in the Panzer, but I do have a use for it. So I got to go in there. I know someone on the DIY electric car forum did seem to be getting started on it, so hopefully that has progressed somewhat. But I will have a look at that hopefully, hopefully soon. I can't really say when. I've got to, balance the fun with the paying stuff and, try and keep myself out of hospital. That's always a good thing. Yeah, people should really hack the loom off when they send me things, but unfortunately, I think Tesla's, you tend to, I found a lot of that with the Tesla stuff. You rarely get the connectors, so I ended up going on Mauser, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different connectors, 2 types of pins. I don't even know if these are the correct pins yet, so we will have to get crimping. I have to start breaking out my little friend here. But before I do any of that, I basically want to, identify all these plugs and stuff. There's 3 down the bottom, 2 here. I think then there's the Ethernet stuff and a couple of USBs. So I just want to identify these sockets, and then I can start figuring out what pins do what, and we can start making this thing work. Might even be worth doing this as part of a live stream, but I'd like to get it worked out so that at least the thing powers up first. Otherwise, you can be guaranteed that that live stream would be even more boring than this one, where you would basically see me just going, so you don't really want to see that. But anyway, I would really like to make this thing more usable, more accessible, and do it in a way that doesn't have to be secret handshake type things, and signing the Official Secrets Act and all that kind of thing before one is allowed to use it. I mean, they're basically computers, that and the instrument cluster, so should be able to make them work. Maybe I'm overestimating my abilities. I do that a lot, but hey, it's part of the puzzle. Okay, what do you got for me, guys? Yes, the Tesla battery heater will be going in the Panzer, because we will need to heat the Volt batteries. Not now because it's warm, but in the winter when it's cold. So we will be using the Tesla battery heater for that particular task. What do I think of the Jaguar I-Pace? I've never seen one or driven one, but the more EVs that we can get, the better. I think in general, it's good to see more of the manufacturers getting on board with building cars, but I still think there's a gap that needs to be filled, and I think that need is for a base model EV that a larger proportion of the car buying public can afford. But I'm not going to get into that stuff here. I try to stay away from the kind of clickbaity, argumentative stuff, and just stick to the boring technical stuff and learning how to drive on the track. All right, what else you got for me, guys? Do I have any plans for expanding my channel? That's an interesting question. Never really thought of that. Not at present. I mean, you can't improve upon perfection, can you? I mean, all the high quality video work and the, lean, mean, and decidedly handsome host. What more could you possibly need? But who knows? Yeah, who knows? But I will always keep it free. You'll not find any ads on my YouTube. I'm not trying to make money out of YouTube. I think that would be silly, given my particular genre. I try not to fall into the traps of just trying to get views for views' sake. Try to give as much content as I can in ways that make sense. Probably don't make sense to anyone but me, but hey. Alright. So, IGBTs versus MOSFETs for high voltage motor control. Wow. Interesting. MOSFETs have been closing the gap for quite some time now on IGBTs, but IGBTs haven't been standing still either. One of my little dreams is to design a single board inverter that has the logic and the power stage on a single PCB, so that you can basically just bolt this thing down to a plate and you've got an inverter. So a little bit like the Tesla one, but a lot less power, but a lot less cost too. So I still like IGBTs better. I don't know why. They're a little bit tougher, I think, just in my experiences. But I don't keep up to date as much as I would like to on the power electronic stuff and what's becoming available. So I'm a bit of an IGBT man at the minute, but I could be swung either way depending on what project that I might be working on. Tesla coolant diverters, you know, to be able to join and separate the battery motor coolant loops. I don't have those. I've never seen them. I don't know how they work. I assume they're some kind of three-way valves and things like that. So we'll be hopefully get a few of them at some point. Do I have a makeup artist? Obviously. I mean, look at the head there. I mean, look at the whole, look at the whole shiny thing and the custom hairdo and the, the kind of dyeing all those pesky grey hairs black and all that kind of thing. I look great. Do I think there is room for shrinking the size of the electronics in a Model S? Oh, hell yes, I do. I mean, Jesus, right? Seriously? Look at this thing. I mean, look at this. I mean, what is this? 1957? Ugh. I mean, I'm surprised there isn't a CRT coming out of the back of this thing. I mean, okay. I'm gonna rant. Sorry, I'm just gonna rant. There's a trend. I don't even know if that's the right word to use, but there is just this attitude amongst the car makers that the cars now must become part of one's digital lifestyle, and so things like this and all the other junk that they just cram into cars now is fine. If you want it, buy it. You know, I mean, there's a demand for almost everything these days. I mean, if you want this kind of a display, if you want all the connectivity, I mean, look at the back of this thing. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, USB 1, USB 2, Ethernet. Oh. We need a simple car, guys. We need a simple electric vehicle. It has 4 wheels, a steering wheel, couple of controls, seat belts, airbags, and ABS, and that's it. Okay, that's it. That's what we need. Now, I can't do that, right? I can build cars in my driveway, but I think if we had that someone could buy, that would go 250 miles on a charge and charge up in less than a half hour, genuinely, not fakery, not, you know, some marketing person's idea of what a spec sheet should be, but an engineer's spec sheet, then I think that would be a car that would change the world. I think the Model S has changed the world quite a bit. I think the Model 3 is changing the world in another incremental bit. But if you really wanted to flip it, you would need a cheap car with damn good performance. So, one of my pet peeves. Okay, that was a short rant, you've got to admit. I could have gone on for hours at this, but I've held myself back. I've refrained. Anyway, the screen is very heavy and bulky. Okay, so yeah, 250 miles, no Bluetooth. I can live without Bluetooth in my car. I can live without navigation in my car, even though, and I'll be the first to admit this, I couldn't find my own ass without both hands and a sat-nav. But guess what? Okay, due to the miracle of technology, I've got a sat-nav in my crappy phone. So there you go. All right. Okay, so Bob Flavin says, with safety regulations, it's not possible to build a simple car. I don't quite agree with that. I'm not talking about compromising things like safety systems that you've in cars, like, you know, seat belts, airbags, ABS, you know, impact bars, you know, all the kind of things that are, you know, that kind of make the car safe. I'm just talking about dumping a lot of the luxury stuff and dumping all of the techno crap that we've seen coming in the last decade, or even 5 years in particular, has seen a real explosion in that kind of stuff. I'm glad I can help somebody. I mean, that's kind of it, isn't it? I mean, there's 2 reasons that I've made the videos. There's been a lot of reasons I've convinced myself of, but there's been 2 reasons that I've kept at this. The first one is I want you guys to build cars. I am a reasonably technical person. I can solve some of the problems that people are going to encounter when they go building a car, and at least if I can show you guys how to solve some of those problems, I can help out, right? And the second reason has been the message in bottle stuff, that I wanted to see what would happen if I kept making these videos. And I've met a lot of very interesting people thanks to that, and had an absolute about face in my life and career as a direct result of sitting here saying the first thing that comes to my mind and building cars. So thank you guys. I think I'm still live. I hope so. Have I ever done a non-BMW? I did a project on a motorcycle, was a Honda, but other than that, no. I've never directly done anything other than our trusty BMW. I like them. Both past and present versions. Probably more the past stuff because I've been hanging about with Dave too much. But yeah, I like them, and there's a lot of interchangeable stuff. So when you learn how to do something on one car, it's a bit easier to do it on another one. It says here that my stream health is kind of orange. I don't know why that is. I don't know. Maybe my crappy broadband can't stream HD upload. You can stream it download because I get Netflix. But I'm guessing it's probably not too happy doing uploading. So I might reduce the, what's it called? Resolution. What's the body rust, etc. like on the Panzer? There's a bit on the right rear arch that I need to fix. I'm not good at body work at all, and that can be demonstrated by the fact that the filler that I had put in to solve that problem came out when I slammed into the ditch in Mondale. So yeah, I'm going to have to get somebody to do that because otherwise I'll just make a bad situation worse. But other than that, wheel arch rust, the Panzer is in pretty good shape. Let me see here if we can play with the video settings, see if I can make this a little bit better for you guys. Video. Let's see here. Let's try this. Can't say this is going to be very pleasant, but we'll try it out. Okay, so have reduced the stream size. Don't know how that's coming out, but hopefully reasonable. So alrighty, I don't want to go. I don't want to go on for too long. Oh, that's interesting. Now I have managed to have. Wow, yeah, I've managed to make a mess out of the stream now. Woohoo! All right. One thing that does pop into my mind, just to finish with, is what would be my ultimate BMW to convert? Wow. Good question. We see here. There's a hell of a choice, right? That's the thing. What would be the best one? Oh. See, the problem is, I think I nearly have, in my view, the best one. I really like the E31, and I think that with the Tesla drive unit is really, it's a really nice car to drive, I think. I have to drive it some more. I mean, I've only really driven it in straight lines. But that, and I've recently, as I said, been looking at the E24 635 CSI, which is kind of in one way the forerunner to the E31, so I quite like that. Probably a touring at some point, some kind of a touring, maybe an E30 touring. That'd be pretty cool. But other than that, don't know. It's a good question. Sorry I can't answer it better. Oh yeah, I've made a real mess out of this. Let's see if I can unmess it. I don't think it's actually helping the old stream health. We'll go back to HD. There we go. All right. Yeah, hard to know, isn't it? So many of the flipping things. Rust converter, definitely need some of that. So folks, I'm hopefully going to do another stream fairly soon for you. Look at it, I mean, yes, no, I don't know. Hopefully going to do another stream for you when we get this thing powered up. I got a fair bit to do. Alright, not going to, once I run out of things to say, I'm going to stop saying things, because just not really sensible to be sitting here staring into a camera talking to the world without anything to say. But then again, our politicians do that all the time, so why not me? What I will ask you guys to do is, if you have any suggestions for anything, you know, feel free to drop a comment. Projects, things I can do for you guys, things you want to see available, you know, open source projects. Yeah, basically drop a comment and let me know what you're thinking, and I will try to compile a list of stuff then and try to make some kind of a timescale for you. That is one of the other things that I want to do as part of the Patreon too. I mean, I speak in general terms about the Patreon, in that there'll be certain bits of it that'll be available only to patrons, but I'd like to think the meat and potatoes will still be freely available. I do need to make a living, but I also want to make this stuff as available and as free as I possibly can. So that is about it for this evening. So unless you guys have got anything else that you want to ask me. Have I ever thought about playing with the Chevy Spark? Unfortunately, we don't have that vehicle here. I've never seen one. I've never seen the motor from one. Hopefully, before too long, I'll get a Model 3 motor, because that's something I'd really like to do. I'd really love to get the Model 3 motor and see if I can work some open source magic on that. I think that'd be pretty... I think it'll happen. I just hope it doesn't take 5 years like the Model 3 motor did. So yeah, I like the Model S. Hello Damien, hello. Wow. So, have you seen a crashed Zoe on my travels? No, but I may have access to a Fluence. I don't know if that's going to work out for me. So that's the story. Guys, I'm going to leave you there. And we will see you in the next video or the next live stream. Thank you for all the support, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as I say, do drop a comment there if you have any specific projects or ideas for me. I'm gonna try to mix the channel up a little bit too, just to, you know, just to keep things just to keep things evolving, and then we will, you know, hopefully keep stuff less than totally boring. I don't mind boring, but not totally boring. Okay. Auf Wiedersehen. Until next time. No. No, I'm not. No. 4 headlights. That's a sharp nose.